There are so many excellent films streaming now that it can be hard to find the best Netflix movies to watch. That's where we come in. We've made it easier than ever to plan your next movie night by rounding up the greatest films the streamer has to offer. Today, we will check out top 10 Netflix movies of 2021 so far. Before starting the video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so you would get notified when we upload the next video. Number 10. The Guilty. Helmed by the Training Day director Anton Fuqua from a script written by True Detective scribe Nick Pizzolatto. The Guilty has an awful lot going for it even before you get to the lead performance of Jake Gyllenhaal. A remake of the award-winning 2018 Danish film of the same name, The Guilty follows Joe Baylor, a troubled police officer who has been demoted to operator duty in an emergency call center. One day, he gets a call from a woman claiming to be kidnapped, and his efforts to save her will reveal that nothing is as it seems. Films that mostly take place in one location following a single character require some serious impressive acting to keep interest engaged, and Gyllenhaal is more than up to the job. Often relying on nothing but other actors' voices to bounce off of, Gyllenhaal takes the audience on a tense, taut, and agonizing thrill ride, ramping up the suspense as Joe has nothing but a phone with which to save a woman's life. Indeed, a film focused on phone calls thankfully uses sound to chilling and creative effect, with the lack of visual aids only worsening our mental images of events, and playing a crucial role in the twists. 9. The Witcher. Nightmare of the Wolf. Netflix has gone all in on the Witcher franchise, commissioning not one, but two spin-offs ahead of the long-awaited and long-delayed The Witcher Season 2. Live-action spin-off series The Witcher: Blood Origin is still a while away, but this anime feature film has arrived relatively speedily and will do more than state fans' appetites for more Witcher content. Nightmare of the Wolf tells the origin story of Geralt's mentor, Vesmer, rewinding to when he was a cocky young Witcher, enjoying the money and glory of his monster-hunting work. However, when a strange new monster starts terrorizing the kingdom, Vesmer must confront his dark past and question what it really means to be a Witcher. Vesmer will appear as a wizened Witcher trainer in Season 2 of the main show, but this spin-off provides a rare opportunity to see the content from a fresh perspective and delve deep into Vesmer's character, and indeed Witchers themselves. Fans of the lore, in particular, will get a kick out of this film, which shows us in detail how Witchers are created and explores mages and their complex relationship with Witchers. 8. Beckett, 2021. John David Washington's career is only going up after starring in BlacKkKlansman and Tenet, and now the actor is headlining his second major Netflix movie after Malcolm and Mary. See below. Beckett follows Washington's titular protagonist, an American tourist vacationing in Greece with his girlfriend. However, after his involvement in a terrible accident, Beckett soon becomes the target of a manhunt and must make it to the American embassy to clear his name as a political unrest rises. The authorities close in and a dangerous conspiracy begins to unravel. Despite a year of travel restrictions, Beckett may be just enough to put off foreign trips for life, as this effective political thriller brings great acting, propulsive energy, and surprisingly good action to this story of a holiday from hell. Nevertheless, Greece makes for a stunning backdrop to the many film's many twists and turns, making the most filming on location in Athens and a low budget for a film that harkens back to the international political thrillers of the 70s. A great cast helps too, with Washington joined by awards darling Alicia Vikander as girlfriend April and Logan's Boyd Holbrook as CIA employee Stephen. 7. Vivo. It's been a big year for Hamilton star Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's been working non-stop with his first musical In the Heights receiving a big screen adaptation, as well as the first ever animated film Vivo also seeing a Netflix release. Also the first musical from Sony Pictures Animation. The film tells the story of Vivo, a music-loving kinkajou, voiced by Miranda, who must deliver a long-lost love song to a famous singer on behalf of his owner. Despite being the colorful and comical adventure one would expect from a family animation, Vivo is not afraid to sensitively touch upon difficult topics, such as death and loss early on. It's far from a gloomy affair, however. Much like Coco, Vivo uses music to explore themes such as family, fatality, and local cultural traditions. With Miranda's always consistent original songs and a dazzling bright depiction of Cuba, making this a charming and delightful adventure for all ages. 6. Awake. We've had A Quiet Place, Bird Box, and The Silence. But now there's a new dystopian thriller on the block, set in a world where a global phenomenon stops the whole world from sleeping. Directed by Mark Rasso, Awake stars Jane the Virgin's Gina Rodriguez as Jill, a former Army medic and recovering addict who finds that her daughter Matilda is the only person capable of sleeping, while everyone else in the world is constantly conscious. With humanity at risk of extinction from accelerated insomnia, Jill sets out to find a way to end this freak episode whilst protecting Matilda from those who want to do her harm. While met with mixed reviews, Awake is a disaster flick featuring a star-studded cast that's worth a watch if you're a fan of stressful horror. 5. Army of the Dead. Following Zack Snyder's Justice League, Snyder is back with a heist movie with an undead twist. Army of the Dead follows a group of mercenaries sent into zombie-ridden Las Vegas, where they need to nab a huge cash prize before the city gets nuked. The problem is, these aren't your regular shambling living dead. They're fast, strong, and organized. And there's even a zombie tiger in the mix. The massive cast includes Dave Bautista, Omari Hardwick, Anna DeLay Ruggiero, Ella Purnell, and Matthias Schoeghofer. There's already a prequel movie and an animated series in the works, too. So there's plenty more to come if this 2.5 hours of zombie-slaying action just isn't enough. 4. The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are credited as producers here, but as with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, their fingerprints are all over this extremely enjoyable Netflix animation, as well as sharing a visual DNA with their madcap siege. The Mitchells vs. the Machines is as irreverently funny as 21 Jump Street and the Lego Movie, and like Spider-Verse, it has a unique visual style that rewards close inspection. It follows the titular family of 4, plus Pug, as teenage daughter Katie, Broad City's Abby Jacobson, prepares to leave home for film school. She's content to fly, but Dad Rick, Danny McBride, spies a chance to mend their ailing relationship by driving her cross-country to her dorm room, along with Mom Linda, Maya Rudolph, and Brother Aaron, voiced by Rihanna. 3. Worth. With the horrific 9/11 attacks now reaching their 20th anniversary, there has been quite a wealth of new releases focusing on the tragedy, but few are quite as hardening as this dramatization of real events. Worth follows lawyer Kenneth Feinberg, as he is named the lead of the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund, and soon faces the indescribable task of determining the financial worth of a life in order to help bereaved families. However, it's only when he butts heads with a widowed community organizer that he begins to understand the human cost of the tragedy, and is soon battling bureaucracy and politics to get victims the compensation they deserve. The subject matter immediately saddles the film with dramatic weight and, most importantly, responsibility. But Worth thankfully manages to forego most biopic pitfalls for a nuanced and complex take on a side of the disaster that is all too often forgotten. 2. Bloody Red Sky. After similar claustrophobic creature features, such as Snakes on a Plane and Train to Busan, Netflix original Blood Red Sky has settled on vampires on a plane as their terrifying threat and transportation of choice. A phenomenal concept, the German film follows Nadja, a woman with a mysterious illness who boards a transatlantic flight with her son in hopes of finding treatment in New York. However, when a group of terrorists hijack their overnight flight, it's revealed that Nadja has no ordinary illness, and she must use her monstrous secret to save her son and the other passengers before the sun comes up. Netflix has had a string of unique horror hits recently, with the likes of Army of the Dead, Awake in the Fear Street trilogy, and Blood Red Sky has cemented the streaming service as a fertile breeding ground for experimental and high-concept horror. Surprisingly human for a film with a vampiric protagonist. Amongst all the gory slasher action is a story of the lengths a mother will go to protect her son, while simultaneously doing everything she can to hide her true form from him. 1. Love and Monsters. This enjoyable adventure was an unlikely Oscar nominee in the Best Visual Effects category, and has proven to be a big success since arriving on the streamer in April. The film concerns Joel Dawson, Dylan O'Brien, and his dangerous attempts to reach his high school sweetheart, 7 years after they were separated at the outset of the monster apocalypse. As it is to be expected by the title, his journey is not without danger, and Joel must fight off all manner of monsters if he is to truly reconnect with his love interest. This is an unpretentious, family-friendly romp that provides 2 hours of excellent escapist fun. Do let us know in the comments which one of them you've already watched. Thanks for watching.